Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jersey and today we are back and we are going to continue that build that we started with the house. We're going to add a little workshop area. This one will be more like a medium-sized workshop area where you can have storage, where you can have just different sections so you can put all your equipment, and the most important is storage. So we're back in one of my members world and we're going to be building right over here. Now the way the terrain is, I did struggle a little bit trying to make this curve over here, so there was a lot of editing just to show you the final area. But this is 12 by 9, so the long side will be 12 and the one going from the road towards the back will be 9 deep. So that's kind of like the dimensions right there to get you. And then we're gonna start building the platform, building the walls, building the areas. And again, this is another kind of a little workshop area that I feel like is very easy for you to kind of imitate and also add more if you want. Like if you want the areas to be bigger, if you want more or section that doesn't have a roof and you want to keep it more open, it's going to be really up to you the way you want to utilize this build. But I think this will give you a really ground to start working towards that. So as you can see over here, we're working with pillars. Again, I like to go one pillar and then kind of like the half of the other pillar. That usually the dimensions that I like. Again, you don't have to do that and you can actually just work with the wall height. I always like to go a wall and a half. It just feels better for me, feels better for the camera, but it means that sometimes you gotta work a little extra hard to make those pieces match roofing and all of that. So something to think about if you want to do this. So as you can see, we made the platform, we put in pillars in all the other areas, and then I know I'm gonna connect this section with the other section. I had to kind of delete some of the platforms real quick because there was something not working. I noticed that sometimes the game kind of glitches just a little bit in different areas, and you gotta change the pieces or delete the piece, put the piece back, and then it'll register to build again. So I am encountering that. I know that it's just early access stuff, and I know it's gonna get worked out, and I can't wait for that to happen. But as you can see, this is like the little halfway wall that we're doing here. Now, since I'm imagining this is gonna be like a workshop, I'm actually not gonna fill in that half at all with walls or anything. I'm gonna keep it open. That way it feels more natural. Light will come in during the day. I think it will feel a little more open and it will feel more like an outdoor building scenario. Okay, so now what we're doing, we're putting the triangle pieces, the ones that we need. We're gonna work on a little foundation square over here. There are a few changes. You're gonna see it at the end of the walkthrough. This was a lot of like little trials and error just to get some of the support things to work and not to work, and changing here and what will look better, especially when we started working on the storage area. Like this section that you see, that's 2 panels. Eventually that is just gonna be like 1 panel. And then we're gonna cut it so we have more room for storage. And I like the idea of the storage. I think it's gonna be really nice, especially when you go to the small chest and then you can name it. So when you hover on the chest, you can see what it is. So if you're a person that likes to organize a lot, this is gonna be very beneficial for you. Okay, so we work on the front. We add a couple more pillars. As you can see, we added pillars here, added more pillars over there, and now we are going to be kind of building the front of the structure. And then what we do in the front, we're going to do it in the back again with more triangle pieces. And then there's going to be like these 2 little triangles that's going to go on the opposite side. But as you can see, everything's coming together. I always like when you step back in the early of the build, right? You kind of stepping back and you start seeing the progress. You start seeing how things are coming together. Now on the front here, you see that big window gap. Again, I keep imagining like a little workshop. So you know, people are doing stuff. You need like all that fresh air to come in and out. So I figure I'm gonna leave those big openings open, but we're gonna use a little double window eventually to replace that, except for the one in the front. The one in the front, just to make it feel more like a little more solid building. We're gonna put just normal walls and we're gonna fill that, but that's gonna come down eventually. Over here, as you can start seeing, I'm adding a little more support. You start adding those beams just to give it a little more of a look, a little more of a structure, just because we wanted to start feeling those little details. And when it comes to RuneScape, working on those details really come a long way, and it really gives the builds a little bit more. And it's not something that I'm trying to push, but again, we're doing a little like a simple build series that is easy to follow for beginners and like myself, learning the game, learning how to build, what are the rules, what are the mechanics, and then slowly start exploring how to make more like advanced buildings with more different style of roofing, more scenario, more for looks, right? And keep the inside for what it is, but then you got like all these extra details all around the building. And I think we're slowly gonna start getting there, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to start building that. Again, we're doing the corner pieces here because this is a transition that's gonna go into all the buildings. So we're gonna do a little walkway underneath it. Now the walkway underneath it, and then we're gonna have like a one full tile that's gonna be sticking out of the little roofing area. That means that you can put stuff out there like the furnace, the kiln, or like the logging machine or anything like that, and it will still work in that area. So again, giving you different places where you can place. Now that whole walkway, if you want, you can actually not have the roof, making an outdoor area as well, you know, because you have a nice transition and you can make a kind of like what we made the triangle. You can leave it up to right there for the roofing, take out the two beams, and then this walkway that we're gonna have some roofing, you can actually leave it completely open, right? Just take out the roofing, and that could be your outdoor complete for more items, right? We are gonna make a little platform, because you saw the thumbnail, right? On the front, and you can also use that for outdoor stuff. But, you know, just giving you more suggestions because, you know, that's the great thing about builds like this, that you can customize it to what you want. All right, so we're gonna expand the area. You saw we expand the flooring. Now we got all the dimensions. That oak tree, we definitely gonna have to move it. And then we are connecting the beams. We're putting more reinforcement, kind of like every other. We're putting a little beams over here. Again, we're gonna go to the half wall. Basically, we're gonna be imitating what we did on the other side of the building, kind of imitated over here. The great thing about this building is, again, it's a very simple design. It's a nice design, but again, it's a lot of imitating. For what you did on one side, you imitated on the other. Now on this side, I did make it bigger so they have more room to do more of the storage area and put more machinery if they wanted to. So again, that was part of it. You can see how the building is aligning with the road. One of the great things about RuneScape is like we can build anywhere in the world, and I really love that. Yes, we don't have terraforming. I don't know if that is gonna come in the future. I hope that it does come in the future, because that'd be great, because there were some areas, again, like I couldn't put it as close to the house like I wanted. I really wanted to attach this building to the house, but we did manage to do that. We made an entryway, and on the back that it leads to the back doors of the house. So that looks really cool. You will see it in the tour. I didn't show that part, how to build it, because I don't know how many people need that, but you will see it in the end of the video, and the little walkthrough. We're gonna do that. Now these beams over here, I wanted to add some, again, a little more support, so when we start working on the roof, it can actually be supported. But eventually we're gonna change from these big ones, we're gonna change it to the small ones, because we added this box, kind of like a little box around the pillars, and it did not look good with the big one, so we are going to change it to the small one. So that's it's kind of like another big change. Now if I'm looking at this now, you know what would have been cool is to actually do this like this, but actually go with the half square as well. That will look like you have a little base in the pillar, and then we'll go up again. But we did manage to use those boxes, and then we managed to make the storage wall, like the storage shelf. So it kind of works as well. That was one of the ways I was able to utilize what we did before, and now utilize it for the shelving. We're adding a little more details over here, trying to decide what I like, and whatever you did, I did over here, then I did it in all the other areas. So again, it's kind of like a little symmetry going on, and keep adding just all these different stuff. As you can see, we're taking out all the big beams, that, you know, all the pillars that now it doesn't look good because of the wall. It feels like it just cut it in. So now we're replacing it with the small ones there. I do like this look a lot better over here. I think it just works really great. I felt like there was something off when I did the boxes, and I don't know, it just don't feel unfinished. So what we did, we added a lot more pillars, we added the small one, and we kind of just connected all that area, and it just felt more like a style of a logging cabin or something like that, and it kind of worked together. So again, all of this stuff sometimes is a lot of trial and error. You go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and trying to get something that you like. Something that I want to mention, if you made it to this point of the video, please do not forget that it is a spill build video, because if not, they'll be so long, right? That there'll be such a long video. But don't forget that after you watch it, you can actually slow it down on YouTube. Just mute the audio, slow it down, and you can see some of those process that might be going a little too quick. Slow it down on YouTube and it will work great for you. Okay, as you can see, we added more of those little pillars, and that's what I was saying, like it going so fast there, so you can slow it down. Now we're doing the little frame over here, and again, we're adding all this frame. There's going to be all this roof. So something that I've been learning slowly here is that you need support, a lot of support when you're making this kind of stuff. This building, the rules in the game are very important, so I do want to make more support, more areas where it's holding, so then when I add the roof, it's a little more of a smooth process that this time around compared with my previous build that I'm still learning a lot. Thank you so much everybody that's leaving comment and tips on how to do better builds, because there's some mechanics that I don't understand. Thank you so much for that. We are doing that now. Over here, as you can see, I had to delete like the big piece because I don't know why. So it's like it's not registering when I do the long one, and if I put too little one, it works, but on the other side it registers the long one, and it's the same thing, identical. I don't know why it does that, but if you encounter that problem, just delete the beams, use 2 of the small ones, and it will work great. As you can see over here, again, we just now doing another entrance over here. It's a different transition, so you go from one building, you go to kind of like the walkway, and then you encounter the other building, and you come over here. So we did kind of like another entrance, so it's kind of cool. I like this. It's like you have the entrance of the one building, then you got the entrance on the front, but then in between this area it gives you like another entrance. So again, it's just giving you a little more depth to the build instead of just being very plain. Over here we adding now the roof slowly. I'm getting better and better. Thank you so much everybody that again gives me little tips and tricks on how to really master the whole abstract projection, moving pieces in the air, because I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. I'm getting used to it now. At first I could not do it. Now I am getting better, so I am enjoying it a lot. As you can see over here, we're starting to add the roof pieces, and we're gonna go again to a little out there, and we're gonna start moving all the pieces, just making it work a lot better. I did something wrong here, but now that we can match it, we match it well, and then we go, and it's so nice, so nice. I'm still so happy that they added this. Now that I got used to doing it, I'm so happy that they added it, because imagine building stairs every single time to work on this. It just will make everything so much longer. For some reason, you saw there, I could not add it from the top, but I went from the bottom and it registered. I do feel like there is little things in the game still that is a little buggy when it comes to building, because it didn't matter how long I tried to do it from the top, did not work. I went on the bottom and then I put the roof piece and it worked. So just give try sometimes when it doesn't make sense and it's telling you, you know, it should work, right? Try it from different angles. It may work out for you like it just told for me. I couldn't put the roof piece from the top, but I just kind of went on the bottom. I was like, well, let me try from the bottom, and it worked. I don't understand. I really don't understand why that stuff happens, but it happens. And it's a little frustrating sometimes because you feel like you're wasting so much time. Okay, so we're finishing the roof. We're doing the area, putting all the roof pieces, making sure everything looks good and connected. Again, we use some of those little corner pieces so we can have a nice transition area. Now we're doing a little triangle over here. Again, you see, like I can't do with the long one, but if you do 2 short ones, then triangle piece works perfectly. Again, I'm guessing it's just something buggy in the coding or something like that, because I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it does it to me. So the simple way that I found is just deleting the long piece, put 2 pieces, and I even tried to delete the long one, put another long one, and it did not work. So, but if you put 2 small ones, then it works. It's confusing. It's confusing, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, this is what I was telling you right here earlier in the video. We're gonna do like the little dual window over here. Again, instead of just giving the opening, I just want a little character. But again, I imagine like they want a cross breeze here. Everybody's working hard, you know, and you know, when you work hard, you want that fresh air to go to the building, right? You want that. Plus we got all these torches, so we want the smoke, even though you don't need it, but we want to see that smoke escape, and we want a nice ventilation style area. So I think it's important. So you know, I feel, and I tell myself those stories so that way the build kind of makes more sense to me when I'm building it. Again, we adding more detail. We added a couple more of those pillars on the side, and now we're gonna do a little railing. What I like to do is just go all the way down and then go 4 clicks up, and that's how I get my measurement. If this is too low or too high, you can adjust it to whatever section you want, but this is how I like to do it. I kind of like the height, and when the characters stand there, it feels like a really good height. But if you want to go higher, feel free to go higher, and if you want to go lower, or if you feel like you don't need it, then you don't have to do it, right? But again, I just bring it down, and then I go 4 and I go in that direction. And I like this end right over here because it's kind of nice next to the road. So imagine if like NPCs were walking or something, or you yourself, you're walking through the road, then it looks really cool. I like this area, the cozy. This is the members world that I'm building in right now, and I love the location that I picked. I think it's really nice having the lake in the front, having all the wildlife, like you have the cows around, you got the chickens in the area. It's really nice. It just makes your home and your base area feel very alive, and I'm loving it. I'm loving building in this area. It just feels all connected. We have like this little piece over there like connected to the building, and it's just, I don't know, it worked out great, and it's looking really good. Okay, so what we're gonna do out here, you got 2 choices. You don't have to do this step. You can keep it all with grass and open if that's something that you would like to do. Maybe you imagine something different and you can do that, but I added this little walkway out here, and then we're gonna do some fencing and the walkway, and then we don't want to take it into the road, so we kind of this little pattern. Now if you don't have the road, you can actually just kind of connect it all, and it looks a little more complete. But we didn't want to break the natural road, so we want to leave it there. And this is again another little outdoor area that if you wanted to use it just as a walkway, great, connecting both buildings just makes it look a little bit nicer, I feel like. But you can also put more of your equipment, more of your tools, more of the machinery out here also if you needed it, right? When it comes to how this workshop will look, you know, we're gonna leave it up to Dee, and I'm gonna get some pictures later on because I want to see how she did it, where she put the machines, how she allocated, and a lot of that takes a little time, right? A little trial and error the way you want to place things. So again, we're gonna leave it up to Dee. Dee will put it, but the space is gonna be there. I'm just excited to see how she's gonna put all the machinery as she keeps discovering it and put it there. Now, as you can see over here, again, we went 4, and then we're putting all of these little pieces in the area just like this. Again, we're making a little railway. Again, you don't have to do this. You can just keep it open if you want, but I felt like by putting a little bit of this, it made it feel more connected to the building. And again, all of that is preference, you know. Just because I like it, that doesn't mean that you have to do it. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna extend the roof here. I feel like this is just one little detail that I think it always pushes your build to look a little bit nicer. This little hanging pieces. Now, if I'm going with the medium size, you can actually go with the smaller one if you feel like this is too much. But it takes away to me what I call the flatness of the building, and it gives you this little extra depth. Now, you don't have to. There are buildings that are just completely flat on the side, and you can do it like that too, if that's how you like how you see in the back over here. But I like a little more extended. I feel like it looks a little bit nicer, and again, it gives you a little more depth. Again, this is just a little bit that you don't have to do, but if you want to do it, feel free to do it as well. But I just feel like it adds a little bit more and gives you a little more depth. Now, in the front over here, I felt like, again, I wanted to make just a tad, a little bit of detail, and make it have a little bit more of this entrance feel. Especially, I feel like this is like the main hub building. Like, imagine if you put a desk or something, and somebody's like, you coming in and you, hey, I need some work done, and you know, I don't know, it just feels like more of like the office type. area or where the main builder guy is gonna be. Even though it's just a little smaller compared with the other side, the idea is the same. Now, but I did make the entrance. We add in these little beams over here just to give a little more character, since I feel like this is the entryway. We put in more pillars. I took out the windows on the top just to make it a little bit of solid, and there you go. And I just feel like we got a nice little entrance. Now this is the point where we're adding all the shelving in the building, right? Something that the Cozy wanted is she loves storage, she loves collecting, she likes to hoard everything, and she wants a lot of ability to put a lot of chests. So this is the idea. All these walls that we have in where they're gonna be all to put the chest, and so you can do a lot of storage. Now the great thing about this, and we tested it out, you can put one in the bottom, one in the middle, and one in the top. The top, you have to put it very close to the edge, but when you look up, right, is pointing at the chest, and you can still open it. Don't forget that if you use a small chest, you can name them. So when you hover, then you see what you can put there. So you can put this type of wood, this type of thing, just for rocks, just for runes, and then you can really have. And again, it may be a little bit overkill depending who you are, but I do feel like everybody is good to have a lot of room for your chest, so it's easier to find. You know, you make it the way that you want to, and I think that's gonna work. And as you can see, the whole building, almost every wall is for chests, and then the machinery will go in the middle. That's why we have the building kind of a little more wider, right? So you can actually put more of these machineries that you need to. If you want to go simple with one, or if you want to go double, you will have all the room. Now we're gonna do this in the bottom. If you saw the previous video when I did the house, then we changed the base. We're doing the same thing so it matches the house, because they're supposed to be connected and looking like they belong together. It's for the same person, so that's what we're doing. Just adding that little foundation on the bottom. I think that looks great. It's gonna start giving this shape, and it just feels a little more solid, and it just kind of takes away those little. Well guys, here it is. We're gonna do a final walkthrough. I love this. I really like the way this looks, especially next to the home. Please do not forget that I'm using the simple wood, but if you're already in the other section, tier 2, you got your resources, then you can just follow this with the new pieces. You know, that's something that Decos is gonna do, is as she gets the new stuff, she's gonna start replacing things, so to make the builders look a little bit nicer. But we're gonna start walking the area, and I really like the shape. I really like the way this came out. I love seeing the house next to it. The workshop, again, I told you that it came out just maybe a little bit bigger than I thought, but I think it's a little more future-proof, right? More future-proof. Well, this is the entryway. There is the natural road right over here. We're gonna walk on this area, and I really like how this feels. Now, there's a lot of stuff that he has to do, especially to fill all of this with chests. It's a lot of grind, but we did put a few so you can kind of get idea on the bottom, on the middle, and then you got the top section. So you're gonna have plenty of resources to kind of really just to put them all away. But as you can see, the building on all around, I love the roofing. I love this game. It just, the inside, they look so good. I really like the feel of it. It's very pretty. We got this walkway, and you see on the side we got those tiles. Now those out there, you can put like the furnace, the kiln. You can put a whole row of furnace, a front kiln. You know, you got room. You can put the sawmill on one side. Plenty of room right now for the areas and the stuff. And the great thing in the backside, you can also extend the deck if you wanted to, so it's gonna work great. And yeah, so just your imagination can push this forward. But I like the way the shape is coming out. It has a nice feel to it. Now this is the back way over here. This is where I made like a little opening, and it leads you to the back of the house. Again, I didn't show how I built that, just because I don't think a lot of people are gonna connect it to another house. Maybe you are, but if you are, then I just kind of leave this little opening here that I connected to her back of her home. Over here you can see the transition. You can see where we put some of the torches just to give it a nice illumination. We actually, on this one, we put it kind of high, and it feels really good. You put it really high and it gives you this nice glow. This is a beautiful landscape. I really like this, and this was building a little dock out there for the lake. So again, one of the best things on RuneScape is they let you build anywhere in the world. anywhere in the world, and I really like that. Even though we don't have terraforming, it's just fantastic. It really is fantastic. As you can see, again, just taking another look of the building, a beautiful area. I love this also. Depending what you do, you can put a lot of machinery out here as well. And I don't know, your imagination is what's gonna make this build look even better. And and if you do, tag me, go to Discord, put stuff. I added that a little extension. So if you see the previous video that I did is for this home, I added that extension because I felt like that side of the house didn't feel correctly. It felt kind of flat. So I kind of doing this again. I didn't show it because this video is just for this, but I kind of did that little extension, and I feel like it looks really nice, and it gave the house a little more texture on the side. It feels a little more cottage-like, so I really like it. And again, those are the future houses that I want to build a little more detail like that. But guys, this is the build. This is the new workshop, a medium-sized workshop in a simple way, so everybody can build it, everybody can have plenty of space. And I hope that you enjoy it and you use it, and that you're inspired to continue to build in RuneScape. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll see you all on the next one. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.